and welcome to Opposites React. I'm Ashley.
I'm Whitney.
And today we are listening to more called Chisel. Today we're listening to Flame Trees, brought to you again by Brett.
Brett on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Brett. So he gave us a lovely description of what a flame tree is. And do you want to...
Yes. It is a red tree that in the spring in Australia, they just have a huge splash of color on the East Coast.
Yes.
So flame trees are red.
Yes, he said, golden wattles add yellow, jacarandas add mauve, and flame trees are shocking, I know, red.
Yes.
He said also that we've been a little heavy on the Barnesy side, so here's a little bit more Ian Moss.
No.
No, never mind. That's something else.
That's later.
Get ready. There's a song with more Ian Moss coming later on down the pipe.
Not right now.
Not right now.
You know what I was thinking as we were pulling this up is that I think so often we get heavy into the instruments and instrumentalists because the lyrics oftentimes are fairly simple. And they're repeated a lot. But here, just pulling up the lyrics, this has a lot more to dive into.
Yeah.
So I'm actually, especially with such a simple, I guess, description given to us.
A song about trees, which then every time I'm like, it's about trees, then I think of the Robert Frost poem.
Which one?
You know, I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed upon the earth's sweet loving breast.
Oh, that is not a poem that I have
memorized it in 7th grade.
Oh, there we go.
Anyway. All right, let's hear a song about flaming trees. Or flame trees.
These days I like to stay on my farm out of Sydney a lot, mainly because when I'm working it's so hectic, I don't need that when I'm off. I just need the rest, and we don't get any rest when we're in the city, so we stay on the farm and I ride my horses and take my daughter Mahalia out in the country.
Pause. He must have a farmhand, because I don't know a single person that lives on a farm and lives and operates that farm that's restful.
Well, no, not... Yes. And I mean, he's out of town all the time.
That's true. So he must have people
staff
that operate that farm, because holy moly, the second he said, I like to go out on the farm and just rest.
Just have a rest.
It's so hectic. I'm like,
no, yes.
That looks like so
he
much
has people
work.
that run the
maintenance.
Farm. Mm-hmm. No. There is farm staff for sure. I'm sure that the wife
create that restfulness.
I'm sure that his wife helps with things, but she probably manages the people who run the farm, because especially if she's got small children, she's not out,
mucking stalls.
I mean, she probably could be with the kids. Sure. That's what the rancher side of the family does.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
My husband's whole family are ranchers, and that's what they do. But also, the husbands are not international music sensations.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe it is a rest for him to go from city and all that stuff to hard labor, but
buck some hay today.
That does not sound restful to me.
Not at all.
All right, let's get into it.
Cute little girl.
We share some that sentiment.
Okay. This first verse was so awesome.
I know.
It just took you back to, like, almost going back to your high school reunion or something like that, where it's like you just find one of the spots and then you know, oh my gosh, you haven't changed.
Oh my gosh, you look just the same. Do you remember this person?
Yeah,
Do you remember
like,
that person?
I love how they kind of incorporated that straight into the song.
Yes.
Instead of just like, I mean, you definitely got the feeling of it, but then like just the straight up words. You're doing well.
Yes, he's like, basically just talking about going back to some town that he's got a long history with, and like, it's interesting because it's like, oh yeah,
it's definitely the
a
girl
song
that
about
got-
trees. No, it's not a song about trees.
It's not the girl that got away.
Yes, it's about the girl that got away.
But it's just like so far in the song, it like really just took you back and put you right there in
Such
that
great
spot.
storytelling.
Yes, it was great storytelling, or it is great storytelling.
Oh, needs that sentimental bullshit anyway. You know, it takes more than just a memory to make me cry. And I'm happy just to sit here round the table with old friends and see which one of them can tell the biggest lie. And there's a girl, she's falling in love down where the piano stands with a local factory worker just holding hands. And she's wondering if you got or if you stand. Do you remember nothing stopped us all to leave in our day? With all the fame trees and the weary dry. And there's nothing else we set back to the sound. There's no trees in the place. Everything within its face just makes it harder to believe that she won't be around. Come on. There's no change in the face. Everything within its face just makes it harder to believe that she won't be around.
Oh, that was great.
That was awesome. Also, another bossa nova rhythm.
Ooh.
Ding, ding, ding. Anyway.
But I thought that was fabulous because the storytelling really allowed you to be drawn in. And in past cultural songs, I feel like there wasn't as much in-depth storytelling.
On the past couple that we've seen, yeah.
Yes. And this,
They were more ambiguous lyrics, and they were a little bit more repetitive, and they allowed you to interpret a little bit more. Kisan had good storytelling.
yes, oh, no, that absolutely did.
Yeah.
The, maybe I should just say the ones today.
Today.
The first couple we watched were a little bit more repetitive, whereas this brought you down deep into
Yes,
the
it was
story.
almost like reading a book.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I
painted a
mean?
picture
Like
for
you can have that mental picture of what's going on. The only thing that could set fire to this town is the flame trees, because nothing's ever going to change. It never has and never will.
Right?
The only
And
thing
how
is that
could
she's
she
not here.
Not be here. I'm
Right?
expecting her to be here because nothing else.
I mean,
has
I could leave, but
changed.
she couldn't possibly.
No. But I think that's so amazing, like that. Like, I feel like every time we go to somewhere, you know, that we've been 100 times and that it hadn't changed for so long, and then you go back and you're like, oh my gosh, look at
this different thing.
Yes.
There's a new stoplight.
Yes. A town that we visit is super small. We visit all the time. It's getting a new stoplight, so it's like a big deal for us.
Are they really getting a new stoplight?
Yes.
Wait, they're really getting a new stoplight?
That's legit. They're really getting a new
When did you
stoplight.
find that out?
Just last week.
Oh, did mom and dad tell you or something?
Yeah, and
Oh, because when
my kid
was there.
Yes, was there.
We're getting a third stoplight?
Yes. No, that's just the second. No, it's a third one.
It's a third.
It's a third one.
A third stoplight.
Magic.
Wow.
This is a big deal.
It's a big deal. A third
Anyways,
stoplight.
sorry.
Ooh, I wonder how everybody feels about that.
When
Sorry.
we talk about small towns.
Yes.
But they did such a good job lyrically pulling you in. And
Wait, I'm sorry. Where's the stoplight going to be?
well, we can talk about that later.
I'm so sorry.
It's in front of the church
Oh, okay.
when you pull into town
Okay. All right.
before you get to the first stoplight.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. I was like, oh my gosh, a whole other
But
stoplight.
I feel like Jimmy Barnes did a very good job. He doesn't often have a lot of dynamics in his singing for me.
Okay.
Would you disagree?
I think that the gravelly, like the tone of his voice.
It's almost like Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken plays Christopher Walken in
Jimmy
every
Barnes
movie.
plays Jimmy Barnes.
Jimmy Barnes sings Jimmy Barnes, but it's well, that's a terrible reference. That's a terrible way. He doesn't take it because he's got so much gravel in his voice. It doesn't sound necessarily like he takes you up a ton. Because it's almost like he's belting always.
Yeah. So
Do you see, am I getting my point across?
I can totally see where you're coming from.
Can you translate?
I will not dismiss your point.
Okay, but it's wrong.
No. I will validate where you are coming from and say I can see that.
Okay.
I disagree because, like, there are instances where what's that song that we listened to where it was just a Jimmy Barnes song and he had the John Bonamassa guitarist and they were in the studio?
Yes.
I feel like that one had some build up to
No,
it.
that one took you on a journey.
Also, I feel like the Kisan
Actually, that's very true.
song, I feel like it took you on a little bit of a vocal journey. I feel like because of the tone of his voice, he can be singing at any volume and it will kind of always sound like you're getting,
Yes!
we're going all the way. You know what I mean? But I do...
Because the second you said the Kisan song and the other one from the studio, then it sparked my memory where it's like, no, it's not him always.
Right. And even in this one, he starts off by singing like da, 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 da. And he's singing a normal way.
He is, but it's still
the tone of his voice. It's gravelly and he's singing in that tone of voice in his rough voice. But then he gets going. Oh, the flame trees will blind the weary driver.
Yes.
Right? So he's going, he is using dynamics. It's just because of the tone of his voice, the dynamic performance from him typically comes in the notes that he's using.
Yes.
It's I don't necessarily feel like I've heard a lot of like whisper singing or
Yes.
like super soft singing from him.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Like, not necessarily like that he's not
I don't think
changing
he's
notes and stuff.
I don't think that if we're using a scale of 1 to 10, I don't think that he's singing at an 8 or a 9 or a 10 all the time.
No. But
And
it
so to
appears
say-
that way a little bit sometimes.
I don't feel like that. I can see how it might appear that way.
Hold on,
Okay, that's regular, yeah.
I'm just saying red for a million sides.
See?
Okay, but that
And
was
now
a
go to
belted
the middle.
line.
Go to the middle.
That was a belted
That was
line.
the first line of the freaking song.
Red. I'm just saying.
Where's the first line? That's not the first line.
Kids are driving Saturday afternoon, just pass me by.
Okay. So I can get the reference.
It's like every other line. He has got a belty moment.
Yeah. But so he'll start da 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 da, and he's supported.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so he starts out at a 4.
Okay.
The next line he goes to a 6.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that still leaves 8 to 10 later in the row.
Yes, I can see that. And I think they add a lot more, like...
He doesn't do a lot of 2.
No, I don't think that's...
I don't think that's in his repertoire.
Yeah, he chooses... I'm not saying I don't think he could. I think he is like, I just choose not to.
He's not going to sing you a lullaby. He's going to be like...
Mockingbird! He would...
Go to sleep, little baby.
Yes. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not... He has dynamics, but for me, it is not because of the gravelly tone of his voice, he's got a lot of belty moments. Which
that's the funny thing is he's not even gravelly right here even.
I'm not even saying that I don't like it.
I'm just saying red for a million sad.
Like, he's not even very gravelly right there.
No, it's whatever the tone of his voice. And I'm not describing it well.
Do you want to know what it is? He's got the type of voice where it sounds like he's always yelling, but he's singing.
Yes, but he's not like, yeah, not like,
He's a you, but a singer.
Yes. Like, where it just is, I can't control the volume of my voice. But the thing is I love it. I love the way he does it. But it was just like, he's always like, he
starts off at a 4 and goes to a 10, sometimes an 11.
Yes, he's starting at a different level.
His dynamic scale starts where other
Higher.
people might finish.
Yes, that is probably a better way of saying it. Because when you were, I was like, we've got first line right here, and then I was belting, and I was like, point,
But there are other songs.
Proven.
There are other songs where he's not
But we're
belted
talking
all
about
the time.
this song.
Well, because you said no, Jimmy Barnes doesn't have any dynamics. You said him as a singer.
No, well, in this song, I would say,
Okay.
all right, in this song, yes, I did say that, and I misspoke. In this song, I feel like it was, again.
But he started at a 4 and went higher.
And I feel like they add a lot of the dynamics and movement in the vocals with the harmonies.
Yes.
Which I love that. Mm-hmm. But every line, I guess my whole point in saying that is that every line they make it, this is an important line. But does that make sense?
Yeah, but the thing is that, okay, so again, the first line is a 4 and then the second line is a 6, right? So it's like there's still movement.
They're jumping around.
So
yes.
It's not like every line you're getting the same. I guess that's where in the musical term dynamics.
Yes, and that's where we all know that I do not have all the musical
and
terms.
you know that I also am a little bit of a lunatic, and so I'm like, well, she's saying he has no dynamics, and I'm saying that he does. You're not using the appropriate definition of the term. He has dynamics, even if the scale starts higher than everybody else's. He's going up and down. That's dynamic.
Yes, but you know what I'm saying.
Now I do.
I'm going to murder you in your sleep. If Ashley comes back on our next set of reactions bald, just know that I retaliated.
I'm not telling you when it takes business trips.
Oh no, your husband.
He's not going to sign up on that.
100% he will. We will get retribution together.
He's not going to want to look at me bald.
That's true. We'll have to find some other way to maim you.
He's not. He is too obsessed with me.
Hey, we're going to have to come up with something devious.
He's not on your side.
He is on my side.
No, he's not. You want him to be on your side, but he's not.
I want him to be on my side. You're right. I do want him
You're
to be
all
on my
alone.
side. Anyways, if you enjoyed hanging out with her,
She's so mad.
like and subscribe.
Bye.
If you need to know what dynamics are, just ask Ashley. Bye.
She's like, this has to end. Our first